Welcome to the Rockhound Podcast. This week we have a brand new guest. Go ahead and take it away.
Hi, I'm Chris Hatfield, and I have a Northwest Jasper Opal and Agate Hounds. I'm pretty stoked to be here. I feel I've hit the big time.
Aww.
Well, we're pretty stoked to have you here. Yeah.
One of the videos I got the most comments on was the one where I had my chocolate. I was down at the creek and I had my chocolate lab running around the background. And he was flipping sticks around. It's pretty hilarious, actually.
I might just let Tucker in so he just doesn't meow, because River's also in bed too, and I don't have her get woken up.
I mean, we're like 5 weeks in a row of Tucker doing photo bombs in the middle of the podcast, so I think it'd be an insult to ruin that streak now, you know?
He's gonna be a new mascot.
It's kind of like the mascot at this point.
Yeah, exactly. Let's keep it going.
How come there's no gnome in the background, Kyle?
I think Tucker knocked it over last episode, actually. Speaking of, I thought it was anyway. I could be wrong.
Are we going to talk about the time that Kyle lost his keys?
I think he's told us about that. We could definitely dig up some old wounds if he's okay with
it. No keys, Kyle is what I call him.
Yeah, I think I remember him telling that story.
I bet I can tell it much better. And I don't think he added everything into it.
Okay, then that will be one of my questions then.
Okay.
Get the real scoop from the source about the keys that went away.
Oh, yeah. You guys are talking about keys? The lost keys that came back.
Or should we just leave all of this in?
Yeah.
I mean, we can.
Just total shenanigans. Good evening, morning, afternoon, whatever it is to all of you. Warm welcome to you all. Thanks for coming. We are interested in what you're up to and where you're doing it. So go ahead and leave that in the comments for us, and I will give you a shout out next week. Meanwhile, I'm Karen from Ozone Fine Art Ventures. Out here in the crazy and wonderful sunny Oregon coast. And who are you this week?
Just before I say, I really like that accent that slipped in there for a second. It was a Fine Art Ventures.
I don't know where I'm from.
I liked it.
Okay.
My name is Gavin, and my channel is I Lost My Glasses. We have no videos, no content. It's just a statement, and I'm calling for help.
Because you can't see. It's a scary world when you're not seeing.
Yeah,
pretty much. And then I am Kyle with World Rock Hounds. I would say freshly shaven, but that happened a few days ago. And that is our introductions. So, Karen, shout outs if you would.
Alrighty. So last week you all shared with us and the world your fantastic collections and finds for the viewer show and tell number 6. And it was amazing. So thank you so much for sharing those with us. And if you missed it and you'd love to show everybody what you've got, that's okay to show people, then go ahead and send us your pictures and your stories to the email in the description, because we're always compiling the next one. That means right now. So go ahead and send us your stuff. We'd love to see it. And that's okay. Hasu Andre was one of the viewers that sent us in some amazing cool a collection, really, and he wanted to let us know that the etc., because I was wondering, like, what does the etc. mean? There's so many things here. He said different kinds of quartz, garnet, chert, green jasper, and other materials that he does not know what they are, so it became an etc. It's like crystals and bought from different sources stuff. And so yeah, like I figured, man, that was quite the sprawl. It was a lot of goodies to see. Go check that out if you haven't yet. Thank you, Hasu. Michelle was so thrilled with another fun-filled Friday night, and she was excited about the puppies, and so maybe we might have to like have a puppy or two actually live on the podcast tonight. I think that would be a good thing. So tune in for that. Keep tuning in for that. That'll happen a little bit later. And she missed Kurt. And you know what? We all do. So
come back to us, Kurt.
Miss you, buddy.
She said that her thoughts and wishes were there for him and his family. And she always sends her love from Ontario, Canada. Lisa also was loving the podcast and missing Kurt as well. And she had mentioned something about duct tape and hostages. And I know that there was some talk of that last week. And so I think that we'd better be watching our backs. She said that she was going to be on somebody's lawn.
Oh,
waiting.
I remember that. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, everybody is like, what are we talking about? Like, the hostage show or the after show. Mary Beth appreciates knowing what is behind you, Theo.
Yes.
So,
Fair in Wyoming.
It is not penguins.
It is not penguins.
She quoted, a great episode, Wyoming penguins. Yeehaw, giddy up. Thanks,
Yep.
Corey Rockstar. He said. And one young Theo Kellison writes, I was told I could be in the shouts if I left a comment. I am viewing from the Antarctic, studying the links between the genetic similarities of the Antarctic emperor penguins and the elusive Wyoming penguin. And I think I should say it penguin, the way that you spelled it. The results
I was hoping you would read it that way.
The penguin. The results are inconclusive at this point. Thank you so much, Theo, for your science.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Studies ongoing.
Travis of 406 Findings likes turtles, and Sandmaker is checking in from Track Rock, Georgia. Julie McKenna, Blind Squirrel Rocks. Ivan Lopez, City Rock-Hounding, y'all in the chat, having fun and making merry. Thanks for enjoying it, and thanks for enjoying it now. And them's the shouts.
Thank you, Karen.
Yep.
And yeah, thank you for always putting it together every week. I know it's a lot to do, and we definitely appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you guys leaving us comments, and since it is like a lot to actually, go through all the comments and then type a bunch of comments, isn't this so much more fun that we just let you know verbally?
Yeah.
We read every single one, and this is how we comment back to you. So you got to watch the next podcast. Yep.
All right. Well, now that we're done with the shouts, we can get into how everyone's week was, and we'll start with you, Chris. How was your week?
My week was not very exciting. I'm in the process of I was in the process of closing and moving into 20 acres that my wife and I purchased in the Mid-Willamette Valley, which is exciting.
How is that not exciting?
I'm excited.
It's pretty exciting, but it's been stressful. But I knew I wanted the place when I walked it the first time I walked the property, and I found a piece of petrified wood that was about the size of a football. I'm like, this is it. We're in.
Yep. So
take my money.
Yeah, exactly. I said, oh, and by the way, I'm taking this, but don't worry, because I'm going to buy the place.
That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
Congrats.
we did that, and we did our Memorial Day, celebration in Depot Bay. So it was a good weekend filled with family and DocuSigns.
It's nice that you get to DocuSign. There's nothing like sitting in the bank for an hour and a half. So this is a little better.
Yeah.
And congratulations, that is so cool.
Thank you. And I've already told Kyle we're going to have a video to come. I'm going to dig a pond, and it's going to be the pond agate excavation video.
Ugh.
Yeah, I would be digging many ponds on my property.
Yeah.
The whole place is pitted like the moon.
Yeah.
I'm actually pretty excited to have Chris live closer, because he was in the Portland area. Now he's gonna be a little bit closer to Corvallis.
Yeah. Yep. I'm looking forward to it as well. I always have good, fun adventures with you, Kyle.
Yeah, we might have to tell people how we met. But any more that you want to add on to your week there?
No, that's my week.
Karen, do you want a little reprieve still, or do you want to?
Yeah, let's give it to Gavin.
Gavin.
This week was actually uneventful. I know that it hasn't happened for months at this point, but it's raining nonstop here right now. We keep getting 1 or 2 day breaks of rain, and it just so happens that I'm working on all of those days. So I didn't get out last week. I've been working on some of the stuff that I got last week on Tuesday when we went up to the mountains and got some smoky quartz, which I will show some during show and tell. I'm still working on the first video for second channel, and I've been trying to do something and gave it my first attempt today, and it came out awesome, and I'm super happy about it. And that is also one of my show and tells, so I will talk about that during that portion of today's video. Yeah. And other than that, yeah, that's pretty much it. Packing orders, just normal week. Very mellow week. The river has blown up overnight. It's crazy. And the top of the mountains have not even started thawing yet. So It's going to be a ridiculous flood year.
Yeah, also, wait until it goes down.
Yeah, it's going to be a good hunting year for sure. But yeah, it's just now starting, and the mountains still have so much snow. It's kind of scary because the main mountains that feed the Yellowstone are still packed. Like, I've been looking up weather up there, and they've been getting like high 20s for a high. Wow. And that's just kidding. Yeah, it's still winter in the mountains right now. We're like 3 weeks behind where we normally are for June 2nd. Like, it's crazy.
Dang.
Yeah. Yeah, the river's just gonna keep climbing.
Okay. Sorry, the song of from Johnny Cash. How high's mom? How's the water, mama? Anything else you want to add on to your week?
I am getting out on Monday, which is nice. I looked up weather, just pretty much about to give up on anywhere to go. Looked up every single location that interests me, and it was raining for the next 6 days in all of those spots. And then I looked up one other spot that I will tell you all about next week, which I'm super excited about, and no rain, so we're doing that.
Ooh,
nice.
I love that place.
Nice.
Cryptic, yes.
You look forward to it.
Well, the nice thing is, Theo, is that mud over there, it doesn't really get too sticky when it's wet.
Oh, it can. Some of those places. Actually, the place we're going, we have had to wait out there like a full day before because it started raining. You're not getting out of that place if it rains. Yikes. It's terrifying. Most places, it's not bad. We've got enough rocks that the ground doesn't saturate the way it does other places, but this place definitely does.
Well, we'll look forward to that, and thank you for sharing the week. Karen, do you want another minute?
Why don't you go?
Okay. So my week has been pretty slow. Aside from shaving my face with obsidian last weekend.
What a statement.
When do you ever get to say that? That's so good.
I don't ever plan on doing that again. Surprisingly, the razor burn wasn't so bad. I mean, or I should say the rock burn wasn't so bad.
Next, you need to shave with my knife.
Oh, you mean the knife that I still have in my desk that took me over a year to get done?
No, I think we're going on 2.
Oh, I mean, it's been done. It's
okay, that's true.
Make no knife before it's time.
But yeah, that was definitely something interesting. Normally, it does not take me that long to shave. I will say that right now because I had to sift through an hour of video footage to make a 30-minute long video of just me shaving. And the amount of people that actually watched that video, I was like, wow. Okay, I mean, I guess you guys are into shaving ASMR now. But yeah, that was definitely an interesting experience. I definitely do not recommend it to anyone to do at home. Don't rub your face on that, please. So yeah, that was. Sorry, I'm not trying to show Tucker, but to you guys.
Happily, it's actually too low. The Tucker butt is
it's just top of
you don't have to do a little sensor thing.
So that'd be something. But other than that, just trying to stay caught up on videos, trying to keep things scheduled out. I know I had 2 videos kind of get released today. That was before I shaved, so that's gonna happen for probably the next couple of weeks. You're gonna see a video of me with facial hair, and then after a couple of weeks, I'll be going back to this. But yeah, so it's kind of a slow week. Yeah. So, Karen, what about
All
you?
right. Thank you, Kyle. Here, definitely doubling down on craziness. I have a family member coming, and I'm so excited, but like, everything either has to fast forward or get put on the shelf, and that's so difficult to, choose which children get to have any attention for the next couple weeks. And the weather, of course, like, because simultaneously the weather got nice all of a sudden, so I had to steal. It never feels. Yeah, it could have been raining like in Montana where I would have no choice but to get the work done that I needed to get done. But alas, I had to run down to the beach and have some fun. And, it doesn't matter if there's stuff there or not. It's always such a good time to go down. So we did find some fun fossils, and you can check that out. I just dropped the video. And so I brought some for the shows and tell, so you get a taste. If you've seen it, then you're going to hear some more about it that I didn't cover on the video. So it's a win-win either way. And then, of course, the other thing is puppies. What can I say?
Puppies.
Puppies. And so we'll be seeing a little bit more of that later. They just this week hit the 3-week mark, so they are fawnable. Can't keep my hands off of them. So yeah, that's been my week.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing. And I guess that kind of ends everyone's week. So now we get into the nitty gritty of asking questions.
The interrogation.
Dun,
Oh,
dun,
no.
Karen.
Well, there was let's see, Chris was alluding to a story he was just getting started to telling. And I would love to hear that story that we didn't get to hear just a little bit ago. So you want to take us off with that?
The story on how I came up with the name of my YouTube channel and my Facebook page. Well, I was perusing Facebook one evening. I may or may not have had, a cocktail, and I was on a page called, it's no longer around, but it was called Carnelian County. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to have a little fun here. And I made a post that said, Carnelian is overrated. Which I didn't believe, but I thought that it would, draw some comments, and boy did it. Yeah.
How dare you?
Most everybody got my humor, but there's one person in particular that didn't, and he kind of went off on me, and he told me to keep my BS Jasper pictures off of the internet.
Wow.
And yeah. And so I thought, you know what? Maybe I'll start a site called BS Jasper Hounds. And then I said, well, that might not fly with the Facebook police. So I narrowed it down to Northwest Jasper Hounds. And the funniest part about this story is the person that made that comment actually became a really close friend of mine. And it's hard to talk about because he passed away about a year ago. And he was Dustin's uncle, and he was a Carnelian king, and just the kindest, most amazing dude I've ever met in my life. And take you out on his river and show you every spot, and just the story kind of started out like that, but it actually led to me having this Facebook page, which Kyle kind of motivated me to do the Facebook thing. And then it ultimately led to a friendship with him, which didn't last long enough. So yeah, that's my story on how I got my Facebook and YouTube name.
Great. Wow.
Yeah.
It sounds like destiny,
Yeah.
Like you had to diss on dude so that you guys could like become friends, and this whole thing unfurled. Beautiful. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Now we know.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully nobody shed a tear.
I mean, I could. Just give me a second.
You have to give him some obsidian.
I saw you
He's
cry
got some
once
hair
when you
left.
got stung by a bee digging for agate or digging for thunder eggs.
We have another story.
I was going to say that
Objection,
actually
hearsay?
leads directly into mine. That leads directly into my question. So, because we have the other party available tonight, I want to hear the story of the lost keys.
The story of the lost keys. Yes. So Kyle and I had been chatting a little bit via instant message or whatever it is, Facebook Messenger, and I think I had just said, hey, I got this spot. You want to come up and hound it with me? I think I'd only been up there one time, or maybe it was my first time ever. I'd been researching this area forever and kind of narrowed it down to one little creek of accessible, legally hounded property. And so Kyle says, sure, never met me before in his life. And he meets me up in the woods in the middle of nowhere, and he drives his little truck up there, and we get out and we kind of introduce ourselves, and I'm thinking, and it's like wintertime. So like low water wintertime, which is the best time to hound on the Oregon coast because there's no bushes or bugs. And I'm thinking, okay, hey, Kyle, where's your rubber boots, or where's your hip waders? He's like, oh, no, I'm good. I'm like, oh, wow, this dude's crazy. So we head out and we're hiking up this creek, and, Kyle's knee deep with, wet boots, and the water's about 38 degrees and not a peep out of him. And so we hike clear up this creek. We find a lot of material, and Kyle finds this one piece of jasper with some druzy pockets in it that's probably maybe the size of 2 basketballs.
Wow.
And he's like, oh, look at this. I'm like, yeah, I'm not packing that out, dude. And he's like, yeah, me either. So we leave it there, and we get done with our hike. We get back to the truck, and Kyle's like doing the hey, I can't find my keys. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah, I don't have my keys on me. And so I'm like, okay, well, what do you want to do? And he's like, well, drive me. Let's I need to call my wife. So we drive clear back down where he can get cell phone coverage. He calls his wife, and he's like, yeah, I'm out with this stranger and I can't find my keys. Can you jump in your car and drive 50 miles north and bring me my keys? And, being the sweetheart she is, she did that. And Kyle got a spare key and went on his way. Well, that's not the end of the story, though. Probably 4 or 5 months goes by, and I look at my wife and I say, hey, you want to go rock hounding? I kind of want to go back up this creek that Kyle and I went up, and I don't know, maybe it will pack. There's a big piece of jasper. We'll see if we can find it. She's like, sure. And, my wife's not too down and dirty, but she's tough, and so we hike up this creek, and and of course she's finding all the amazing stuff, right? Because I'm looking, and she's like, oh, I found something, and as we're going up, we're coming back, and I said, well, there's that piece of jasper. It's just too big. Well, of course, my wife takes it and throws it in her backpack. It's like a 50-pound piece of jasper.
I love her.
And then we're hiking out of this creek, and all of a sudden, just right around where that jasper was, she says, hey, I just found a set of keys. Like, seriously? She's like, yeah, they're just laying right there on the rock. And she picks them up, and I look at them, and it's a Ford key, and Kyle drives a Ford, and I'm like, I think you just found Kyle's keys. So that's that story. We found the keys, and I called Kyle, and I'm like, hey, dude, I think we just found.
It wasn't just that he called. He sent a picture. It's like, hey, I think we found something.
Yeah. I mean, what are the chances, right?
Yeah, I think the most impressive part of that story is like, we never met before this at all, and the fact that we lost keys, and like there's a lot of trust there to be like, hey, we're out in the middle of nowhere, no cell reception, and like, yeah, and so yeah, we've had a good friendship ever since then.
We had met before that. We met at Hollywood Ranch.
Oh, did we?
Yeah, we went out there when it was all rainy.
I thought that was after the fact.
You were walking around. Of course, Kyle, he goes to Hollywood Ranch, and he walks around, and he doesn't get a full round. That's just how he is. He's like a petrified wood homing beacon in his head or something.
Yeah, there was a time where he was in this pit digging away, and right behind him there was a slim cast. Like, hey, and like I wasn't even there like to dig. Like I'm just there like in clean clothes. I'm like, hey, look, Limcast.
Like agatized Limcast.
And I was like,
Really?
okay, I'm good for the day. See you later.
See ya.
But yeah, you never know what kind of friendships you can find online. I mean, there are some interesting people out there in a weird that are weird, but you can also find some really good people out there too.
Yeah, they're not all catfishing.
Nope. But I'm pretty lucky that we were able to have cell reception and that it was actually relatively close. Because I remember distinctly, like, it wasn't just like I was like looking for my keys. I had dumped my entire like bag of rock out on the ground.
Yeah, you were in panic mode.
Yeah,
I hate
a
that.
little.
Yeah, I would have been too.
But ever since then, I actually have like one of those like lock boxes that you typically like put on doors of your house.
Right.
It's in the bed of my truck now, just in case, because I cannot have that happen again. Because there are times where I go out by myself, and I really don't feel like busting out a windshield to get or having to hike down a mountain to get cell reception and then call tow company. Oh yeah, we'll be out here in a few hours. No big deal.
Yeah, no fun.
Yep.
I mean, that was a little fun, but you wouldn't want to repeat it.
That's
fun
one of
for
those
me.
fun after the fact stories.
Makes for a good story.
Yeah, exactly.
Gavin, did you have any other questions you want to tack onto that one?
I'm sure I have more, but I'll let you. We'll do another rotation.
Okay, I didn't really have a question picked out ahead of time. I'm very ill prepared today. So, I mean, I think we talked about this a little bit where you'd like to go, so we'll go ahead and discuss it. So, if there's anywhere in the world that you'd like to go, no expenses that you have to worry about, where would you go and what would you look for?
Oh, 100% Opal Fields, Australia. 100%. I can't get enough of it.
Right.
I love precious opal. It just, I don't know. People get gold fever. If I was Australian, I'd sell everything I have and go out there and dig a hole and look for opal. And not because of the value, just because I don't like to sell anything I find. I just don't, because everything's unique and I just can't get rid of it, which that's a whole nother problem in my family. But
good thing you have 20 acres now.
Yes. Yeah, no, bar none, that would be it. Australian opal.
Would you want to go for maybe the rainbow lattice sunstones too?
No.
Aww. He's like, opal dyed in the wool.
Yeah. I mean, I like sunstones and but some of the ones from Plush are amazing, when you get into the Schiller and the deep reds and stuff, but they just are not as dynamic as precious opal.
Fair enough.
Story. Yeah.
Yep. I'd agree.
I'm with you. Yep. You got two of the panel on board all day.
Yeah. I also wholeheartedly agree with the opal fever. Like if I were to ever be in an area where I could find precious opal, I'd be probably, hunting nothing but that. Like, screw agates, they're dead to me. It's opal time. But I know a lot of people get gold fever, and I don't know. I like panning for gold, and I actually have a sluice box, but I don't know. I never got the fever for it. It's fun to do sometimes, but like I never have been like, all right, we're gonna get ounces of gold and just keep working until we have like lots of gold. It's like it just seems like a lot of work for a little reward.
Well, I think gold is more about the money.
Yeah.
And minerals are more about the specimens and what you can find. You dream about finding that material that nobody else has ever seen, the holly blue or whatever it is.
Yeah, this is exactly bang on. Like with the minerals, you pay the money to get the thing, and with gold, you get the thing to get the money. And so it's the inverse of each other. And
it really is.
I got the mineral and the mineraloid fever because mine is definitely the opal thing too.
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a nerd. For me, the whole rock hounding thing started out with my daughter, who's now 19 and out of the house, and she's a certified rock hound.
A certified rock hound.
Yeah, oh yeah, she loves it. She's all in. Her and I were we wanted to spend some more time together, so I took her fishing and trout fishing on the Malala River, and she liked it up until the point she actually caught a fish, and then she was like, I'm not touching that. And I was like, okay, well, but the whole time she was always like picking up these rocks. Hey, Dad, what's this? I'm like, I don't know, a red rock. I have no idea. and so me being who I am, I dove in head first, so I could start to answer her questions, and then everything for the first 6 months was, oh, well, that's Jasper, honey, and
everything is Chert and Jasper.
everything's Jasper. And that kind of just led down a rabbit hole, and pretty soon I was just like, okay, I see these guys with these people with these pictures of these rocks that I really like, and how do I find that? And you're not going to find it, saying, hey, where'd you find that on Facebook? Because people just aren't going to tell you that, and they shouldn't. and really they shouldn't, for multiple reasons. But number one is, half the fun and the satisfaction is learning the geology, doing the research, and putting yourself in a position to be successful, and you might do it. So this creek that I took Kyle to when he lost his keys, and
Lost Keys Creek.
Lost Keys Creek.
Renamed that Lost Keys Creek, but I haven't heard back from him yet. That was the culmination of me kind of diving into it and trying to figure out how to find a spot where everybody where I could find agates. And gosh, it took me months and months, and then finally I found this spot. And you get out, you hike up the creek a little ways, and oh, there's a little chip of something, and then you go up a little farther, and then there's a nice little chunk, and that to me was more satisfying than just somebody saying, go here, dig here, like go to Richardson Rock Ranch and dig, and you'll find thunder eggs. Well, that's fun.
That's
but
still fun, yeah.
yeah, but it's not as fun as you going and finding a completely untapped, unknown thunder egg bed.
Yeah,
to me, anyway.
No, I'd second that. Like, some of my best fossil sites are ones that you could tell no one else is out there, and it took like years of looking at different land ownership maps and BLM maps and calling people to locate some of these spots, and then cross-referencing those maps with geologic exposure maps. And that moment when all of that research pays off and you find a spot that's actually really good, it's an undescribable feeling.
Yeah. And there's so many tools out there. I mean, between there's no excuse to ever trespass. Between GPSs and base camps and Onyx maps and that kind of stuff, you can find these little chunks of public land that people probably never knew how to get into. And then with the internet, I mean, you can dig into old geologic records and claims and all kinds of stuff. There's just so much information out there. It's just finding it and getting to it.
Yep.
And then deciphering it.
Yeah, and the reward is hard won, and therefore it's more gratifying. I mean, there's an adage about that. Working hard to get something is going to make you more grateful for it. And so,
absolutely,
I agree with that. Yeah, that's why not to just go bleh. Yeah, I spent 5 years trying to find this place. I'm just going to tell you.
Yeah, come on in, bring your backhoe.
Yeah, exactly. That's some people have kind of schmersy feelings about some of the old guys that won't share, and it's man, half their life was spent trying to find the darn thing.
Those old guys will share. You just got to approach them right.
Yep.
If they're ready, and if they don't, they're going to take out their little Crown Royale pouch and show you the very best anyway. You know, it's
Yeah.
Well, that's why I found that knew about that spot in Brownsville where I got those geodes or not geodes, but the crystal pockets I put together. I was told about that from a gentleman that went out with his father like many years ago,
Aw.
and I think he kind of like when he told me about it. I don't think he really wanted like the information really out there, like really out there. So like I took Chris out there once, just kind of poke around. Of course, we didn't find much. I found a sea maggot and gave that to Chris. But it's just poking and prodding to see what's out there. And I think there's stuff out there. It's just having to really dig for it and actually locate it. Because from my understanding, the Saginite that's out there, it's in the ground. Like it's deep. It's you got to dig for it. And so you really just have to. I mean, that's just kind of, even if you don't have like books and the internet to really go off of, because if this is kind of like an old location where like no one really talked about it, like you gotta poke around. That's the best you can do.
Yeah.
And then just disperse that information to people you trust.
Yep. I mean, it's a needle in a haystack. Even if somebody gives you a 300 square foot area to poke in, it's still going to be a needle. It's going to take work.
I love that illustration of, it's for paleontologists, but somebody's digging like right next to the entire skeleton that's articulated of a T-Rex. That's what it always feels like, it's just like, but if I dig, am I digging in the right place? A little to the left, a little to the right. And it's a needle in the haystack.
Oh, it's really funny though, because when I was told about this location, he was like, the last time we were up there, I left a shovel behind. And so, like, when I was poking around and just kind of looking around the whole area, like, I'm looking for, like, an old, decayed, like, rotten shovel just, like, laying next to, like, what would have been a hole.
A skeleton. Yeah.
Never found that shovel.
Not yet.
But
that's why I like creeks so much. I'm definitely a big fan of searching watersheds because, I just love being in the water, but I think, like I said in my last video, they're like the conveyor belts of the mountains.
Yeah.
You can drive up a road and stop at 4 creeks and not find anything, and then the 5th creek, there's some little flake. Just kind of follow the breadcrumb trail.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, probably not shocking considering how often I hunt the Yellowstone River, but I agree with that statement. The creeks are where it's at. I love hunting
Theo,
too, but sorry, what?
Theo, you have got to come down maybe this summer if you can, and Kyle and myself and our good friend Carol will take you on a kayak trip on.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
I'm not going to say the name of it, but even though it's a pretty famous river, but we will send you home with a backpack full of beautiful carnelian.
Oh, that sounds awesome. We don't really have a whole lot of carnelian on the Yellowstone. We have like our yellows and oranges, but we don't get a whole lot of like pure reds. So that'd be awesome.
We have the whole range. I actually have a story about that. I was floating a river with another friend of mine, and I made 2 of the most epic carnelian finds I've ever found in my life. One was a basketball-sized piece of orange carnelian. I put it in my kayak, and this was this time of year, so the rivers were down, but they're still kind of moving. And then plus I was finding baseball size. I had a whole front of my kayak filled, and then I found this piece that was probably the size of a quarter of an 18-inch piece pizza, like a pie-shaped piece, dark blood red carnelian with amazing banding in it. I didn't take a picture of it. I put it in my kayak. We're almost to the end of the float, and I come to a spot, and I'm like, do I kind of just walk my kayak across somewhere, or can I make this down and across to this gravel bar? Well, I made the wrong choice, and kind of got into the rapids, and my front end was so heavy that it just swung me around, tipped my kayak over, and I was about chest deep in the water, and all I could hear was tink, 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 tink.
Oh, no.
All of my agates hitting the bottom.
Oh no.
Oh, it ruined my, it ruined me for I've been back there 3 times with snorkels trying to find my material, and it's all gone.
Oh wow.
Take me there next time. I'll help you try to find it.
Conveyor belt, remember? Like maybe a little farther down.
Yeah. We will for sure, Kyle. There's some kayaking trips in our future.
Yeah, I think Carol had asked me if I wanted to go kayaking this summer. I'm like, yeah, let me know.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
70 years old, and she can rockhound for 14 hours straight. So you better be prepared.
That's my kind of rockhounding.
Yeah,
right?
And she finds all the good ones too.
She's been doing it since she was young. She's an amazing woman, and she's invented this little thing, Theo. I know you guys do a lot of rockhounding on the gravel bars. We do a lot of our rockhounding actually. I mean, we hit the gravel bars, but kind of in 2 to 4 feet of water. Well, Carol invented this deal. She took a piece of PVC pipe, and then she glued or whatever some clear plexiglass to the bottom of it, so she's got like this periscope, and she just walks around.
Dude, that's what they use in Florida at Jacksonville and Venice Beach. People use those to hunt for shark teeth.
That works great.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, I've talked about that in videos before. I've only found one agate in water, and that was up in the mountains. That actually wasn't on the Yellowstone, but it's like one of my goals is to like actually hunt and find stuff in the water, because it's so cool. But yeah, there's just the problem with the Yellowstone is it's so big and so slow that everything has like this much moss over everything, so you can't really identify any rocks in the water. But yeah, I've always wanted to. I see those videos, and it's like, man, that looks like fun. I want to do that.
I can just see somebody like sweeping slowly down.
Yeah. Well, and see, I was able to in the mountains because that water's so much faster that the moss doesn't grow the same way. But yeah, you're not gonna ever find agates in the water on the Yellowstone.
Well, even the rivers around here, like during kind of like the late summers, like gets a lot of algae on there.
And you got the tannins too, and so everything is just like kind of like brownish green, the breen, and
it's breen.
Makes it super hard. And then I find that the actual, the ripples and the play of light and everything is really discombobulating, you know?
Yeah.
And so like you get your water eyes, and then now I can't see anything else though.
Yeah.
The key is to have the sun at your back.
Okay.
Because those big, beautiful carnelian, they just glow. It's just like a beacon. Oh, there's one.
Yeah. And it's like when I finally found that one in the bear, there was like, I don't know, it was probably about this big. Nice for the area I was in too. It was like really nice one. It's the only one I've ever found in the water, and it stood out like a sore thumb. And I'm like, man, this summer I'm doing that. Grabbing waders, and I'm just gonna walk up that whole creek system and like try to find some agates, because it was very exciting.
Was that the video where you were with your wife up in the mountains? I think I watched that one.
Yeah.
And you found it in the creek.
Yeah. Yep, that's the one. That's the only agate I've ever found in water before. And I was so pumped. It wasn't even like that good of a cutting grade water line. It was a good, nice size, but it's like, I mean, it wasn't really that great, but just considering how I found it, that's like one of my favorite agates I own.
The thrill of the hunt again.
Yeah, exactly.
Just exactly what we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
It didn't come easy.
No, it didn't. So yeah, that's another reason I'm so mad about the mountains taking so long to thaw, because I'm like, all right, it's like almost summertime. I'm gonna go up there, and then I keep looking at the weather. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be like end of July before I can go do that.
It's gonna be late in the year here too before we get on the rivers.
Yeah.
That's okay. The rocks will be there.
Oh, and there's plenty of other terrain to go check
out. Absolutely. Yeah, I haven't even gotten fossil hunting yet this year. I know. It's what we've been getting so much rain that it's probably like quicksand over there right now.
Yeah.
That prairie is scary when it's
the prairie is scary.
The prairie is scary when it's muddy. And you're like an hour and a half away from the nearest cell reception. So if you get stuck out there, you're out of luck.
That sucks.
Yeah. I mean, that's how
I've actually had to chain up all 4 tires in Montana because of the mud.
Yep, it's bad. Yeah, it's really bad. Like the place that we're going Monday. It's podcast crew, whatever. I'll tell you guys. We're going to Bear Canyon, which I'm very happy about. Which is like some of my favorite material ever. It's so nice. But yeah, that Pryor Mountains are scary when it rains because it monsoons. Like it just comes down and it's all sand. There's like no bedrock. It's just all dust. It's a dust. Like we always describe the Pryors as this one mountain that decided it wanted to be Utah because it's red sand, sandstone formations. Like it literally looks like it's trying to be like Bryce or Zion. But yeah, like if it rains, you are trapped there until it dries.
That sucks.
So we see dark clouds, we get out ASAP. No testing it.
Wrap it up.
Yeah, literally.
No, seriously, right now, drop that rock.
Get out.
Well, I think it is time for show and tell. Oops.
All
right.
awesome.
All right, boss.
Wow.
Somebody strumming the guitar. What is that?
Yeah, totally. That was so nice.
That's what happens when you're fiddling with a pen and you have like metal objects nearby.
That's the show and tell noise.
Yeah. Like kindergarten.
Yeah.
Turn the page. Yeah.
All right, so Chris, you're gonna go first. I'm gonna go ahead and make it so you are spotlight. So whatever you show, you'll be able to see, and then you also give me pictures too. So just let me know.
So I'm showing some pictures. Is that what I'm doing here?
You can show pictures, or if you have stuff in front of you, we can always, or we can just talk about the pictures you sent too. Like I can put them in.
What? I don't have anything in front of me. Unfortunately, I'm sitting at my daughter's apartment, and all my stuff is in storage. So,
that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I sent you the pictures. If you want me to pull them up, I'd be happy to do that.
Well, if you just want to
pictures
start,
work.
I mean, you can always just talk about them too. Like, and I can edit
And just
them
tell us stories, and he'll put them up on the screen at the same time.
Okay. Well, I'm never at a lack of words, but you can see the shot behind me. That's my background is a typical day of river hunting in Oregon. Most of what you see there is carnelian agate with, if we run across any special jaspers or whatever, I'll throw them in there, but that is pretty much mostly carnelian. And I've sent Kyle some pictures of some of my better carnelian finds that I'm sure he can stick in here with his wizardry and editing. So
Exactly what he does. Yep.
I wish I actually would have some stuff. My daughter has a bunch of stuff, but she's getting ready to move out, and it looked like she packed her rock cabinet up, so I don't even have any of her stuff to show.
I think the plus side about getting your new property, you'll have more acreage to store all those rocks.
Exactly, and some of yours too, maybe.
Yeah. Help me downgrade a little bit.
You guys don't really want to move those crates again, right?
Oh gosh.
Both of their reactions. Like, please don't say those words.
Oh, man.
No, because Chris helped me last
I'll
year.
help you, Kyle. I had to fill the airbags up on my F-350 because it was so much weight.
I was just going to ask about that. Yeah, you definitely need your airbags.
Meanwhile, like I didn't have any airbags in my truck, and I'm just like, it's filled up.
I can't complain though. I got some free material out of it.
I was gonna say, I'll come and help so long as I get 3 rocks.
3 rocks.
I get to pick which.
That's so
3.
humble.
Dude, I'll give you three buckets of rocks.
Not 5 and not 4.
I still can't. I can't pry a piece of fire obsidian out of his hand. So.
Well, watch him over. I'll give you peace.
He's legendary.
No, I think we just go to Glass Buttes like we planned, and we talk to your friend, and we get some ourselves.
I forgot we were supposed to do that.
I want to go to Glass Buttes so bad.
It's good. It's so good.
So
Yes.
Eastern Oregon, I love. It is just there's places in Eastern Oregon where you literally can just stop your car, get out, and walk, and you're gonna find stuff.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
It's either gonna be this summer or next summer, but we're definitely doing an Oregon trip coming up soon. I
Nice.
want to do it so bad. There's such cool stuff out there.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Especially the obsidian. I love obsidian, but the only place you can actually find obsidian in Montana, it's insanely illegal to keep because it's in Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah. Don't touch that. It's all like really low grade snowflake obsidian, anyways.
So
I think
That helps
just
the
such a
bird a little
variety.
bit, but
Yeah,
yeah.
in both states. But yeah, the central to eastern Oregon is just you can't swing a cat and not hit something really fun to pick up off the ground. For sure.
So
Yeah, hopefully we don't lose McDermott area.
oh, that's right.
I don't
forgot
want to
about
talk
that.
about that right now. My
Yeah.
heart is hurting. I'm serious. Oh man.
Oh, I am going to
Don't
the Blue
mess with
Forest
that.
this summer, though.
So for
Oh wow,
those,
in Wyoming?
Yeah,
Nice.
I'm so excited.
What?
I say
Yeah,
for-
we're going to the Blue Forest this summer.
Oh,
Were you
okay.
wanting
go.
me or Kyle?
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. I was hollering at you to tell me where in Wyoming you were going.
Oh yeah, Blue Forest. I
Yeah.
have some spots that I know where to go to, and I'm excited. Very
Excellent.
excited. Going to Denver
Excellent.
in late August, and yeah, we're gonna come back through Wyoming on our way back.
Good
so
plan.
for those
Yes.
that don't know, McDermott. Should we tell?
Oh, we do have to talk about this again?
I don't think we have to like really get into too much detail. I'll just like let people know like kind of what's happening.
Okay. Yeah, do them a thumbnail.
So just a quick brief mention is basically they are wanting to strip mine that area for lithium, I believe.
Yep.
Which pretty much everyone here doesn't want that. So yeah, just kind of touch on that really quick.
Yeah. So if you feel like you need to protest, go for it.
We
In
need to
any
get
way, shape, or form. Yeah.
We need to get Jesse involved because the company that's taking it out is an Australian-owned company.
Just Rockhounds unite. We all just buy up all the property.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not even worth getting terribly deep into. It's claim. It's so we could, but we don't. But we
Yeah.
do, but we don't. Huh? So anyway, frustrating.
Yeah. If they do mine the area, at least have like a big like sifter, so they can put all like the top material like on a big pile. So yeah, all the petrified wood is over on that huge like 500-foot tall pile. Just go nuts.
Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, here's the thing we got going for us. That is some of the most productive, critical sage grouse country in all of the Great Basin. And I think I read an article that if they were to mine that, they would lose a huge percentage of productive sage grouse, whatever you call it, country or territory or whatever.
So right, the
hopefully that'll help.
environmentalists might be able to put the kibosh. And I know that the tribes are trying to do some stuff too. And and it's not just petrified wood. It's like there is every single thing. I mean, they haven't found the opal yet, but like there's everything else out there. Everything, you got thunder eggs and jaspers and fantastic agates and all sorts of, it's a paradise, and I can't believe that they're trying to mess with it, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
I can't get my knickers in a twist right now.
Gosh.
Yeah.
Big breaths.
Time.
So Chris, going back to your show and tells really quick. I'm looking at your pictures, and you got a lot of really nice glowing rocks there. And then that's Carolyn on the canoe, right? Or on the kayak?
Probably. I think I threw you a couple pictures of Carol and I.
Yeah, there's one other person.
That's Jason.
Okay.
That's Zeus. Zeus Thor.
He's also very good at finding agates. Just like
he is. He is he's not Brian. Brian's a Carnelian king, but Jason's a Carnelian czar or emperor.
Emperor.
The Prime Minister of Carnelian.
The Prime
Caesar.
Minister. I love it. The Prime Minister of Carnelian.
Yeah, it's amazing like watching him work, because like the three of us went out there to Zinc Creek, and It's amazing watching him work. Just like he has all this energy. I'm like, dude, how do you do it? Like, you're wearing me out just watching you. Is like he's like, I don't know how to describe it. Really.
You gotta like kind of call him off because he's breaking out the miners light, and he'll dig until 2:00 in the morning. It's like, Jason, I love you, brother, but we got to go home. I gotta work tomorrow.
But yeah, did you want to have anything to add on to your show and tell words?
I don't, just keep rock hounding and be ethical and enjoy it and clean up after yourself and be
amen to that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Pack it in, pack it out.
Exactly.
Right on.
So thank you for your show and tell. And now we go on to Karen.
All right. Thank you. We did get down to the beach, as I mentioned. So my first show and tell is what just turned out to be, of course, the Zoom camera isn't great. So Kyle will pop up the cool picture. But this was like modern art when I found it on the beach. The wood grains in the petrified wood of the Torito wood is just delicious. They're going all different directions, probably because of compression after the Torito Novalis made their impressions. They probably caved in. There was like compression in the, they call it peanut wood too, like in the peanut holes where the worms, quote unquote, go through. It's a shell mollusk, but so all of the wood is the dark part, and the grains are going different directions, because of compression. That's really neat. And so we cut it open, and still not fabulous. And of course, Kyle's putting the cut up, but it kind of turned out to be like a heart, and it's just better than modern art to even an artist such as myself. It's, nature is the best artist. Like, that's such an incredible design. And that shows up in the video. You get to see the cut and good picture of the grain, better than just now. And in my finger, you can see the microscopic pieces of the concretion that Kyle is going to show you the real picture of. The first one is at 100x, and I was so surprised. Like, I could probably say this every single time I get on the show and I talk about looking through the microscope. I was so surprised at what I was looking at. I had never seen anything like that before. This is a script. I was seeing these teeny weeny shells, and I'm seeing the foraminifera, right? That are, all these Lucky Charms and stuff like that. But these ones look like shells. And so you see one that Kyle's got up, and it looks like maybe Turritella style. And so a very long spire with lots of chambers, and you can actually see where the chambers would be kind of going. And the second slide actually shows you a 250x version of that. So you're seeing a even better. What's neat is how delicate these are. These are probably right around 15 million years old. They're part of the Astoria formation. And so we're talking about the middle Miocene, and these tiny little, a few, less than a millimeter sized guys are in perfect structure in the concretion, but they look like they're as delicate as a feather. They're like just glass. And so
it is so cool. I just want to state for the record, I don't know if you saw reflections on my glasses. I was not texting, I promise. I was actually pulling up the picture so that I could get watching this time.
You're like watching a movie,
Yeah. I'm just scrolling on YouTube.
Right.
Sorry. No, I promise I wasn't.
Right on. The third picture is actually another, what looks like a spiral shell. And like I said, I haven't done the ID on this. And so they could be either really minute shells, I guess. I don't know. Or they're the forums, and that I'm leaning towards they're probably the forums. And this one's short and squat. And so it looks like another kind of snail shell though. And you can, again, you see like the asymmetry of what would be the spiral of the shell. Like, so neat to see. This is a cross section, so you're seeing all these guys kind of in cross section. And then the last one, and that was at 250x as well, and then we also have the 250x of a yet even more grand turritella like one. And so it wasn't just one, it wasn't just three. The entire part of the concretion that I had underneath the microscope was just riddled with them. And so all I had to do was kind of scroll through the slide, and it was just like rock hounding, but microscopic rock hounding. Oh, there's one. Oh, there's another one. Oh, that one's different. So it was quite the experience, and I wanted to share it with you guys. And that is all in the video as well. And I actually recorded the microscopy session, so you get to like see the slide moving by and finding new stuff coming into focus. And so that's kind of fun. It's the first time I've ever done that.
Nice.
How do you do that? Do you slice it or do you crush it up? Or
yes and yes. These are all different ways to get the slide made. And so in this case, I got a slice and put it like a thin slice underneath. It's a dark stage, so we're having top light only so that we can see what's going on as far as the concretion goes. And so you can see like, little sand grains going by in the concretion too, and the different forms. You can see a lucky, one of the Lucky Charms go by in the video.
It's magically delicious.
But yeah, there's another video where I crushed the material, and so stuff was getting freed out, and I was actually going after what looked like a tiny little fishbone. And when I did that, and then I added water, so that I could see the material better. A lot of times you use oil to see better, for a material under the microscope. But in this situation, I was like, well, okay, water's going to be fine. And it made these tiny microscopic organisms come to life. And so, yeah, like these are things that, you're just in a room all by yourself. Wow. Like,
wow. Someone get in here.
Yeah.
I might have a new hobby.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you have any questions about it, let me know, because I can help guide you. And Jared over there at Currently Rockhounding, same affliction, we're eyes in our microscopes all the time. It is a whole nother level of rockhounding for sure.
Yep. I've gotten tiny glimpses. Montana Rock Mom's microscope is not made for like hyper close-ups, like real microscopes do. But even those, just crazy. You look at your rocks in a whole different way.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they're awesome.
I want to get one myself, but zooming on my empty wallet.
Yeah, I've got about 19 other tools that need to come before that.
I'll pay you for a knife.
Okay.
Sounds like there's a microscope in your future at some point. Yeah.
Karen, thank you for your show and tell. Gavin, you are next.
Oh, isn't there another one that was supposed to be coming?
Oh, yeah. Can you? Yeah. Give me that. Right.
Yeah.
Time out, real quick. Also, really quick, Karen, before you leave, Karen, come back. Oh.
Karen, come back.
I was gonna say Alexis really wants to see these freaking puppies, so I'm gonna go grab her.
Oh, could we make this smell-o-vision? I need some puppy breath.
One sec, I'm summoning Alexis. She wants to.
Okay.
We need smell-o-vision so we can get some puppy breath.
I know, right? Okay, here.
Oh.
So cute. Hold on. Let me get this. Let me blow this up. Hold on.
Hey, dude. This is actually, the boys are named. Oh, it's okay. The boys are named after the mountains, and the girls are named after flowers. Of course, they'll get new names when they get adopted, but this is actually Steen or Steens.
So
You hear that?
Oh,
Speak into the microphone. Oh no.
Oh. He starts a new podcast
oh,
called Rocks and Dogs.
Division.
He's
smiling.
so cute.
Aw. All right, now Lily's
That's
freaking
cute.
out, so I'm gonna return him to the.
Yeah, me and Alexis are sharing a headphone right now, so
Did you hear that? It's sweet even at 2 a.m. when we hear it.
Yeah, she needed to come see the puppies. She's been waiting for this moment.
Mhm.
It's
Well-
so cute.
It's ridiculous.
All right. Thank you, Karen, for showing your rocks and Z Puppy.
The puppies.
And, Theo, it is now your turn for show and tell.
Okay, so I'll start with these. So we went on last Monday, to a place in Montana called Judith Peak, which is at the very top of a mountain near Lewistown. And on that mountain is, I didn't even bring any with me. Dang it, I brought the wrong stuff. I should have brought one of those. So I have a picture. We'll plop that up right here. There are a rock called Montana Diamonds. They are squat, double terminated smoky quartz crystals that form inside of porphyry. And they're awesome. They're really, really cool. But I love fastening them because they're tiny little, perfectly contained little dark black smoky quartz. And yeah, they're awesome. They're super fun to hunt for. But I realized that there's way cooler stuff in that area to hunt for than the Montana Diamonds. So we did a little bit of exploring up there and learned that there is some like super, super gemmy smoky quartz crystals.
Nice.
Mm.
And I was super upset because my best spot still was under snow. So I had to do only surface collecting. I didn't get to do any digging, but we still found such nice. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if you could see all the glitters. I mean, there's literally hundreds of little.
Oh,
smoky
it's
quartz.
shocking.
Yeah. And then on this plate, you
So
see how
glittery.
it's lighter colored?
Yeah.
On this side,
Yes.
all of the glitters on that side are actually feldspar crystals.
Nice.
Like these things are so cool. And yeah, they just form inside of veins of smoky quartz. And you try to find the thick veins, split them, and then you can reveal nice crystals. We actually found some really good ones. Not as good as the ones we found last year. We found some nice, like good sized smokies up there last year. And this was my other favorite find from the trip. See all those little rods? Every single one of those is a perfect smoky quartz crystal.
that's
Wow.
awesome.
Wow.
It's so cool. I mean, again, there's like hundreds in here. And then I tried cleaning it because I was like, oh, there's a bunch of dirt in there. And then I got out one of my loops and looked closer, and all of the space in between, see how much it glitters even in the little spots?
Yeah.
They're itty bitty, like microscopic smoky quartz crystals.
Wow.
So you've got the bigger ones that are like all the little strands, but in between all of them is just tiny, tiny. This is what I mentioned last week, sending one to Jared. Because under a microscope, these things would be insane. Like there's literally thousands of little tiny crystals in here. They're so cool.
Smoky druzy.
He might even add it to
Yeah.
his micro collection too.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
And they're so cool. And that's a very unique geologic area. That's the geology over there is very different from the Boulder Batholith, which is where all of the quartz crystals in Montana come from. So this
Did
is sorry, what?
Did you say that this was the place that had the phantoms?
Yes.
Yeah.
Every single one of these crystals is a phantom.
Get out of here
Wow.
right
Yeah,
now.
I sent a picture or a clip. I don't remember which one. It's either a picture or a video.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
I was just looking
That'll-
at
did both.
those.
Yeah.
I
That'll
was
pop up
watching
right
movies.
here.
Yeah.
And yeah, every single one of these little crystals is actually a phantom crystal. How cool is
Ooh.
that? That is so cool. So as soon as it thaws up there, I want to go back and actually do some digging because the stuff up there is just so cool. The view is insane too. That lookout was actually a radio tower for the U.S. Air Force in the 50s. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like way the heck up top on top of a mountain. And yeah, it's such a cool area. That video comes out tomorrow, Saturday. And then last thing, I don't have it with me because I figured it was kind of pointless because it's tiny. So there was no point in like trying to show something smaller than my pinky nail up on the frame. So, possibly my favorite cut that you can possibly do on a faceted stone is a pixel cut. They are the coolest freaking things, and I love them so much. And for some reason, there are like no diagrams or templates online. You like just can't find them anywhere. And it's so frustrating. So
That's weird.
I finally gave up on trying to find a template and was like, all right, I've got a piece of quartz on the DOP already. I'm going to just wing it and see what I come up with. It definitely needs a little bit of tweaks, but we freaking did it. It's so cool. And the videos just absolutely like do not do it justice. Like when you have it in front of you in person, like it's so your eyes don't really like know what the heck you're looking at. Like the way it's so hard to even describe. Like they're so cool. So
let me see if I can pull up the video so Chris can see it too.
That would be awesome. Yeah, that was really quite impressive.
It's so cool. So I'm going to be doing it again with a lavender amethyst, and I'm going to make it shorter. I think one of the problems with it was that it was too tall. You want those layers closer together so that you get the effect.
the refractive angle.
So the way it works is you've got. Do I have anything I can use as a gesturing device? No.
I'll have to look through all the books my uncle gave me with all the diagrams.
Yeah.
Maybe it's one of them. I'll scan it over to you.
You're gonna be down with this, Mr. New Facet Machine.
So the way you get the pixel effect is say my thumb is the stone. So on the bottom side, there it is. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah, isn't that cool?
It looks like something off of Minecraft.
Yes.
Right, yeah. First time I saw it, I was like, it looks like a sensor bar in The Sims.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Love
yeah.
it.
So basically, what is you can kind of see it in that way, in the way that the faces are shining. So you've got my thumb is the stone. So the bottom side, which is the pavilion, comes to a point, but you have facets angled this way. How am I going to describe this? Like angles this way. You don't do squares or triangles like on a normal cut. Like they're just solid bars going this way. And then when you do the crown, you flip it and they are all going this way instead. So when you hold it up, the clear stone, it creates a grid because the lines are like intersecting. And it's so cool. I love them so much. And yeah, I'm definitely going to do another one now that I have it slightly figured out.
Oh man, I would be just doomed if I had that on my finger.
It's so cool. Yeah, like I'm seriously just sitting there like, oh.
It's very three-dimensional.
Yeah, exactly. I guess I've kind of like hurting my brain trying to figure out how to set it because it's one of those. It's kind of like an iris agate in the sense where it needs as much light coming into it as possible from every angle. So it's like I don't know what kind of setting to put on it.
High basket prongs, and it would want to be a pendant. You know,
I was
so
gonna say,
doesn't have to. So you can just basket that bad boy like way high up.
Yeah, I was gonna say you wouldn't really be able to put them in a ring setting just because the whole point of it is to get the facets on the back and the facets on the top to play with each other. So if you put any form of backing, even if it's an open back like ring, like bezel cup prong setting in a ring, it's still going to block the light. So yeah, I think pendant's pretty much the only way you can go with them, but they're so cool. They're so awesome.
Agreed. I'm jealous.
Love it. And I wrote down everything that I was doing while I was doing it. So I have the template.
Nice.
Wow. Okay. That is, I'm super impressed because you always say, you know, in science, I'm going to take copious notes.
I always do when I'm testing on faceting because it's like I've done that before where I've made really cool setting and I'm like, how the heck did I make this thing? So we've made that mistake once. Now we write down as we go.
Good for you, man.
Smart.
Once had a pot of chili like that.
Once, right?
Exactly. Never to be duplicated.
Well, thank you, Theo, for your show and tell. And actually, I learned that I think for future podcasts, I'm going to try to use that shared screen and kind of help save some time because if that's the case, that cuts down on editing. So, oh man, we learn something new every day.
Yep.
So, My show and tell, I decided to keep it relatively simple. I don't recall ever sharing this before. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. But I wanted to show off actually like the very first rock I ever polished. I'm pretty sure it's a squished thunder egg because I pulled out of someone's side of their house in the driveway, and I didn't realize what it was then. But then as time goes on, I recognize rocks more often and get an idea what things are. Like, oh, this is part of a thunder egg. I just didn't know at the time. So here is what it looked like beforehand. Let's see if we get the camera to focus. No? Okay.
Right. Gotta love that zoom camera.
Yeah, move
Absolutely
faster.
just like 360p.
So initially I was going to polish both sides, but I figured like this is the first rock I ever polished. So I thought it'd be a good memento to kind of have like before and after, like the first thing I ever did. So the one on the left here is the finished job. And for that being my first rock to ever be polished, that was actually a pretty good job considering.
Heck yeah.
So it's nice to have like a little before and after. And I'll probably put some pictures in just so you can see the better quality and for thumbnail purposes.
Very good. Yes, good idea.
So that was my show and tell, and then Jared actually recommended a book, and I got it. I still have to do some reading on it, but it's an old gem cutting lapidary manual book, and so I was kind of briefly flipping through it, and it just goes over like equipment and like how to polish stones, and so I'm kind of excited to actually delve into this a little bit more and see if I can help improve some steps.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you'll have to let us know.
I will. But other than that, that was my show and tell.
Thank you, Kyle.
Thank you.
Thank you. So that kind of does it for show and tell. Thank you all for your show and tells.
Thank you.
Now we get into brief words of wisdom. Chris, I know you talked about a little bit what your words of wisdom were, but if you want to do it again, you're more than welcome to.
Words of wisdom. Okay. If you're out in the woods rock hounding and you don't have a GPS, look up occasionally so you don't get lost.
Yes. Absolutely.
Good advice, man. And that is solid.
Yeah. It really is.
I'm talking from experience.
Yeah, no, that's very, very wise. The rocks are there, but also be aware.
Yeah. Yeah. Like maybe pick out some things to triangulate on and whatnot.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember at the Rabbit Hills triangulating on the mine equipment, because like they are really discombobulating because you keep on going over these like rolling washes and you think you know where you are and everything looks the same, and so yeah, you want to keep that in mind because yeah, even that thing in the sky is moving. Like
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris, for your words of wisdom. Karen, what do you got?
I would say go anyhow. Not if it's raining and you're going to get stuck back there. Good judgment and common sense and whatnot, but you just don't know. And I didn't think I was going to really have much of a day. I just needed to go down to the beach. And I just needed to be there. You guys all understand that. I see you nodding there, Chris. Like, just go down and, sand, like the sound of the ocean, the smell, see some stuff. And yeah. And then sometimes you get rewarded, but go anyway.
Very good. Thank you, Karen.
Great advice.
Theo.
That actually kind of ties into mine a little bit, and that's explore. You guys know that the bulk of my rock hunting is done on the Yellowstone River. So I actually get kind of happy when runoff starts because it's like, all right, here's my excuse to just go do other stuff, which I always love this time of year because I get to go dig for quartz and fossil hunt and go find the agates and the seams. And go up to the mountains and do some fun stuff that's way outside of my normal wheelhouse. And I love doing it. And yeah, you find crazy stuff like this that you would never see on the Ozone River.
All right.
Yeah. So
Stuff that isn't chewed up by water already.
Yeah, exactly. You can find agates that aren't river tumbled. Like, I know, mind-blowing concept, but yeah.
Have
Did you guys
sharp
know that was a
edges.
thing? Yeah. It's like, what?
Well,
But yeah, explore.
just do it.
Just do it.
Do it.
Also, stop not liking shells. Sorry.
Thank you, Theo.
Yeah. That's just an ongoing one. That's just always being said by me.
I got a couple different words of wisdom. The first one being go subscribe to Chris's channel if you haven't done so already. Show him some love.
Do it.
He's an excellent rock hound, and he also is very smart with research. So just do it.
Do it.
But
I'll brandish the scissors again if you don't.
Oh no!
He's gonna run. Stop him.
Sorry, I'll stop.
But my words of wisdom is going to kind of tie into the story that I had with Chris. Like, if you're going to go somewhere, put your keys in a safe place that you're not going to lose, because having to backtrack to try to locate keys, it's not a guaranteed method of finding your keys. So if you have like a combination lockbox put in your vehicle somewhere, if you have a truck, that's great. If you have a car, hide the key somewhere out in the nearby, like in the woods under a rock or somewhere, so like you don't necessarily lose it. You know where you put it.
Yep.
Because you don't want to get locked out of your vehicle and have no way getting down the mountain or wherever you're at and kind of be stuck. So secure your keys.
I would add on to that the way me and Alexis always get around this. It obviously won't apply if you go out by yourself every time, but if you go out with another person regularly, you should both have a spare key for that vehicle. Like, both carry a key, and we've done that before. If one of us locks the key in the car, we are always safe because the other person always has their key. The odds of us both losing it are lower than, yeah, it's just a nice little safety blanket.
So the funny thing is, since it happened, I typically only carry my truck key with me. Like, I don't have any other keys. There are some other keys in the truck, but it's for like the lockbox, door with the check box, and the gas cap. But other than that, I don't carry house keys. I don't carry work keys, because all those keys were on that keychain I lost. It was the house key, work key, truck key. I forgot what else.
Ollie.
I think there's a padlock key on there. So like now I only have one key that I carry with me, and I have one key in the lockbox. That's it. And this is at all times. It's not just when I go rock hounding, like it's at all times.
Yeah.
So if I ever like drop my key or lose my key somewhere, I'm only losing one key. And I have backups. So it's like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure a lot of you guys, how do you get inside your house? I have a combination dial thing to my house now. So it's like, no keys. I don't sound like a janitor when I walk in now.
Yeah, I just have the shop key, the car key, and a house key. That's it.
Keep it simple.
I have more keys on my key ring that I don't know what they go to than I have keys that I know what they go to.
That's the worst.
That's how
so
my old
funny.
set was, and I'm like, I don't know what half of this stuff is even for anymore.
You're afraid to get rid of it because what happens if something's important? That one door.
I literally have a container full of keys, like in the one of the cupboards in the garage, because like I know where some of them go, but I don't know where a lot of the other ones go. And I even found a key in my wallet. I'm like, I don't know what this goes to. Just like, I don't know. It's a mystery. And so I just put it in the container full of keys. I'm like, someday someone's gonna be like, hey, do you have a key? I'm like, oh, let me try like these 100 keys that I have. It has saved my bacon though. Like, I've actually had someone get locked out. I'm like, I don't have it in this dedicated slot where it should be, so let me bring in my entire like janitor size key rings and like start trying every single house key. And luckily I actually had one key that actually fit their door. But yeah. So that was my words of wisdom. Karen, if you would do us the honors of taking us out.
Absolutely. But first, Chris, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. It's been a total pleasure. You tell good stories. We're going to need to have you back because
Yes.
I know that You've got a load of them. We didn't even get into animals and stuff like that, and
No.
that's Kurt's favorite question. So
Yeah.
yeah, you'll have to come back. And also, if folks are interested in watching your channel and perhaps finding you on social media, what again is your channel name? And we'll have that also. We'll have a link in the description. But what are your social medias as well?
Well, I have an Instagram and Facebook page, and they're all pretty much the same thing. YouTube, it's NW Jasper and symbol Opal Hounds.
All right. So you guys know what you need to do. Go check that out for sure. Do all the subscribing and the, friending and all that kind of stuff. And thanks again. And all of you out there, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end. I know we're having like some kind of like crazy chat in the chat room right now. And those of you that haven't joined the Discord yet, you can do that all week long as far as the chatting and the shows and tells and the randomness. So if you hit up the same email that you're going to send all of your shows and tells to that is in the description, we'll give you an invite to the Discord, and you can come check that out. That'll get you from one Friday to the next as far as missing the podcast crowd. And otherwise, thank you so much for joining us. Here's another end to the evening, and rock on. Go find something good.
Rock on.
Thanks.
Bye.
Oof.